kids. So we move on to the second chapter, section B, The Adventure of the Mason, which is from the first unit, Adventure. Okay, and this story has been abridged from the story The Adventure of the Mason, which was written by Washington Irving. So this chapter is all fun and suspense. It's going to, you might feel like a movie again. Okay, so now, as we did in Pirate Story, this is also a lot of adventure. So the chapter begins with, I'll first tell you the characters. There's a mason who's very poor. Then there is a stranger, okay, and then there is a landlord who's very rich. Now the stranger is also rich and the landlord is also rich. Now let's begin. Okay, so there is a mason who's very poor, okay, and he hardly has any money to feed his family. Okay, there is, he lives in a city known as Granada. Okay, it's in Spain. And this man, the mason, he was extremely poor, and he scarcely could earn anything, a bread for his family. Okay, now one day what happens, he's roused from his sleep. Okay, suddenly there's a man who comes and he wakes him up. Okay, he tells him, so the man, he told him that, would you work for me blindfolded at midnight? So now he is a stranger. Now this is the stranger that I was talking about. So he just suddenly comes and he opens the door and he tells the mason that, and the mason was sleeping. Okay, so he tells the mason, will you work for me blindfolded at midnight? So he's like sort of threatening him. This mason, he's a poor guy and he doesn't have much money to feed his family, to feed his children. So what he does is, he agrees. He says, yes, I'm ready to do any work that you will tell me, but please pay me well. Okay, so this stranger, he says, yes, definitely, I'm going to pay you very well, and but the work that I tell you, you'll have to do that. So he says, okay, fine, and the mason agreed, and he was taken to the place by the man. Okay, and then he was told to build a vault over there. A vault is like a safe. Okay, it's like a locker. I hope you all know what's a locker. Okay, so it's a locker where all your precious jewelry or your precious things, your money, all that you keep. Okay, so he told him that you'll have to build a vault. So he blindfolds him. Blindfold is to tie something on the eyes. Okay, and then he's going to just act like a blind. Obviously he's not blind, so folding something on the eyes so that the person becomes sort of blind. Okay, so now he blindfolds him, and at midnight he takes him to that place where he wanted the mason to build the vault. So now there, where he goes, he sees that yes, so the mason, he builds the vault. Okay, there's a chamber in the at that place. There's a chamber. Okay, now he removes, as soon as he reaches there, he removes the cloth. Okay, he unfolds the blind from his eyes, and then this mason, he does his work. He builds the vault, he in a chamber over there, and then he was again blindfolded. Now this man, he tells him that the work is over. Now you will have to help me to put these dead bodies in this vault, in this safe. So this mason, he was scared. He said, why am I going to do that? So he's telling this all to himself. Okay, so now he's scared. He said that, oh God, please save me, I don't get into some trouble. Okay, so this man, he tells him that there are some dead bodies lying in the corner. So as soon as they go in the corner, he touches that. Now, because he's again blindfolded, as soon as the vault is built, So he touches it. So that was not exactly a dead body or something. There were four portly jars, okay, long big jars, they were there. And these jars were filled with lots of gold, okay, and gold coins and gold ornaments and all. So I mean, like, because he could touch it, so he could feel it, that it was not a dead body, it was a jar. So there were four jars over there like that. And this man, he helps, the mason helps the stranger to put the jars into the vault. Now this man, he tells him, the stranger, he tells him that I'm leaving you here, your money is in your hand, okay, your, and I mean your payment for the work that you did, it's in your hand. Don't open your eyes, don't remove the blinds until and unless the cathedral bell rings. So the cathedral bell is like the church bell, okay. So in the morning when the church bell rings, he opens his blinds, he removes it, and then he sees that there were two gold coins that the stranger had given to him. So the mason is very happy. Why? Because now he has something to feed to his family. Obviously not the two gold coins, but now he can sell those coins and get some money and get food for his family. So for some time he lives on uh, with the help of those, the money that he got from the two gold coins. Then eventually again he's poor. Why? Because he has no work, no nothing, okay. And even if there's work, very less payment. So now one day again, what happens is, after a long time has passed by, there is a man who approaches this mason and he says, will you be ready to work for me? So this man, now the mason is poor, he again needs work, because he needs money, yes. So he says, yes, yes, definitely I'll work for you, and whatever payment you give me, I'm ready to work for you. So this landlord, he says, so this is a landlord, he owns a mansion, okay. He has a house at a place, and he wants it to get repaired. So he says that there was a man who was staying earlier in this, at in my place, and he spoiled my whole house, my whole mansion, and God knows how. I mean, like, all of a sudden one day he died. People say that, he was a he was a very he was a big miser. Okay, miser is a person who does not like to spend much. Okay, so this man, the landlord, he tells the mason that, will you be ready to work for very less money? The mason agrees. He says yes, definitely. The landlord takes him to that place. Now as soon as the mason, he reaches that place, he is able to recognize that place, okay, that there was a fountain and that area where he had built the wall. So now he understands that this is that it was the same place where the stranger had brought him, and he knew that there was a chamber over here where he had built the wall, and there was a lot of gold in that. Now his mind's all working now, okay. So now the landlord, he says that, this man, he died, and the stranger, so he died, and people say that there's some ghost or something, the house is haunted now, because every night they hear the clinking of gold sound, okay. They hear the sound of gold, the clinking sound of gold, okay. So I mean, like, if you drop a coin, that clinking sound is there. Similar sounds people hear from the mansion, from that house of the landlord, and they say that maybe it's a haunted place. So he says, God knows what that stranger did to my house, you please repair it. Now the mason says that I am definitely going to repair it, but you just, even if you don't pay me, never mind, but you allow me to stay in this house till the time I repair it. So the landlord, he agrees. He's very happy because his house is getting repaired. Yes. So he agrees, and the mason, he is lucky enough to stay in the house. Now slowly, gradually, he was mending the house. Okay, he was repairing it, and with that, he was even withdrawing the money, the gold that he knew was there in a chamber, okay, in the wall that he had built. So slowly he took out all the gold from uh, from the wall, okay, that was built in the chamber. and uh, the clinking sound went away. That means now there is no sound, so people think that there is no ghost. Okay, and now he has become very very rich. In fact, he has become one of the richest person in Grenada. Okay, so this is how the Mason became from a poor person to an extremely rich man. In fact, one of the richest man in Grenada. Okay, and he does not tell all this to any of the people, to anybody in his family also, until and unless he was on his deathbed. Okay, deathbed, that means he was about to die. So just before that, he tells his sons and his heirs that, yes, this is how I became rich, and this is the story how I got so much of money, and I leave this back for you, so please use it wisely. So this was the adventure of the Mason. Okay. If any problem, any query, you can put down in the comment box and in the comment section. And please do like, share, and subscribe. I hope you loved the story because I loved it. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.